Hi people, me again of course as always, Moreno Ravenberg and or as usual. Um, I um, I just woke up like literally it's currently 5:11 a.m. in my location. Based on my appearance, then I think you can deduce that I woke up not too long ago. In my case, I literally woke up. I have an interesting dream for you guys. Go ahead, listen to it, and I'll deliver after commentary.
Today is Tuesday, April the 30th, 2024. It's 4:44 a.m. So in actuality, it's still Monday. If I'm not mistaken, the morning's at its strongest. Hold on for 1 minute. Well, it wasn't. Saturn is ruling. It was the hour of Saturn, but it wasn't too long ago. Essentially, the moon stopped ruling roughly estimated like 15 minutes ago. So anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes ago. Anyways, obviously, like I said, it's still Monday, the 29th of April. In actuality, 2024, and again, it's 4:44. Literally just woke up. Now it's 4:45 a.m. I had a dream in which in which my, in which I was on good terms with my parents, and they came to my house. But it was purely they came to my house, and it was purely thingy. Not literally that they came inside my house or anything like that. The so-called conversation or the subject matter regarding the dream happened alongside the street, more or less. Long story short, it involved my beloved Lord of Lords Sandalphon's necklace that that I essentially had an issue with the necklace in the sense that it needed to be shipped somewhere, and they simply helped me out, and and at the end, I no solution came from it really, because I essentially they wanted we I wanted to like prove something to them, and then we drove all the way to a specific location, and we drove to a specific location, like for example the airport, etc., a location that was like a couple of hours away. And one of my parents, I think my father, he called like other family members to come help, or friends and acquaintances to come help in some way, shape, or form regarding this subject matter or topic. And then, and then, um, sorry, and then and then the issue wasn't resolved, and I had to like ship the necklace for some reason. I think like the necklace had like a dent in it, in the sense that it wasn't attached properly. The the thingy, the chain itself, the outer end that connects one part of the chain with the other, wasn't connected properly, and I had to have it shipped. But now my parents are of the opinion that someone needed to pay for the thingies. Someone needed to pay, as in literally needed to pay for the things that needed doing. Um, Someone needed to pay, so cover the expenses for asking people to come help and whatnot, and so on and so forth. And which I found weird in the dream, because I was like, and I think my mother also found it weird, so-called mother obviously, and so-called father. And I don't know, my father said something to the extent of, yeah, but listen, I can't just like send these people back without any issues whatsoever, any problems, just telling them that they came all this way essentially to help, and then not give them anything for their trouble, etc., etc. And no one literally told me anything, but the insinuation was that I should cover it, like maybe what, $500 or something like that. Absolutely not. Of course, in a dream, I thought to myself, absolutely not. That ain't happening. Um, and we ended up having to go to an office or something like that. Yeah, so like at some kind of government office where you ship stuff. So think of the post office, but fused with DHL and whatnot, an actual competent post office. And then when I was there, I showed the necklace to them, and everything was in order. They were going to ship it, and then I was going to leave. And I looked at my parents and I told them, "Why are you guys still here?" Because I was there separately with my own car. I owned a car in the dream, and they said we need to. They told us we need to stay here because of some dispute that happened in the past. And as my understanding was, is that the dispute involved the dispute involved the dispute involved something that they didn't pay for in the past, something that was like a criminal offense to the point where they were essentially detained, and they needed to pay that thing first, so they needed to hear what the so-called verdict was and whatnot. Might I add, P.S. A lot of fucking lately, a lot of quote unquote mommy and daddy dreams. Stand by for the meaning. Yeah. In any case, the meaning of the dream is that both my parents are stuck in an astral plane, the equivalent to prison, essentially a place like purgatory, purely metaphorically speaking, a lower level astral plane. And they are simply, even in the astral plane, they still act the way they would act in real life. They bicker amongst each other, they argue with each other, and they essentially are observing me in a manner of speaking, the extent to which they can observe me, um, no differently than, for example, someone seeing something on television, no differently than lower level spirits from that plane can see and whatnot, and overall entities. Um, and they would, as worthless as they are, seriously try to take. They see how wealthy I am, and they would try to take my wealth, some of my wealth, for themselves. That's where the whole part of my Lord of Lords necklace comes into play. It's purely a metaphor. And of course, I wouldn't tolerate that. I wouldn't let them. The government office also stood for them being detained, so to speak, in that lower level, awaiting punishment, and them being completely restricted, as opposed to me. And that's why I was free to move about and to ship that necklace. It stands easily for a transferal of energy, and the astral, the many, as the strongest magician in the world, the many times 1,000 many, so to speak, privileges I enjoy in the astral plane. Um, and and regarding the involvement of friends and acquaintances and family members and whatnot, is that they would do that even as a means of trying to pry wealth loose from me if they were alive. And yeah, what else can I say? They and that was what also was the insinuation that I should pay for the thingy in the I should pay for the I should pay for the whole subject matter of having the my necklace shipped and so on and so forth. And traveling the distance stands for, it stands for me meeting up with them, or the other way around, but much more the former than the latter, spiritually. Again, hold on. Yeah, my parents have difficult. My so-called parents, they have difficulty accepting that they're dead, but that's anything but a surprise based on how low level they were regarding thinking, even when they were in a material plane. So even when they were still alive. Yeah, and that's essentially what the dream means. Again, this is purely an FYI, and similar to all the other dreams, um, my beloved perfected infinity astral body tells me that, again, it's his duty to notify me, so he notifies me. He does just that. But in no way, shape, or form are my parents even capable of coming near me in even in the figurative, microscopic slightest of extents. This is no different than someone, for example, watching something on television that is taking place all across the other end of the world, in this case, much further away. So you can compare it to them being, again, like I said, being in astral jail, so to speak, a detainment facility or similar, and they're simply watching what the prison guard is watching on TV, like that. And again, they met up with each other, and they're being detained in the same plane, and they're doing the same shit, crudely put, that they were doing when they were in the material plane. That is all.
Yeah, so you heard it for yourself. There is nothing else to say really. I mean, people that have been following me for a long time or for the past years, they are familiar with the fact that I, in actuality, do not have any parents, and that the people that were supposed to be my parents are just another bunch of degenerate scum, just plain and simply put, locals wise. So yeah, in that regard, that aspect, my parents are no different than the local scum, just plain and simply put, the local fucking parasites. And again, you can see for yourself that these guys, their worthlessness knows no bounds or depths. If even in the astral plane, my parents are like bickering the way that I explained in the dream, honestly, laughable. Just again, I'm sharing this with you guys because I know it's interesting from a spiritual perspective. I've been having dreams like these for the past week. I think this is dream number 5, okay, and I'm being kept in the loop and notified. Believe me, this is just one example that I'm showing you guys. It's the main example, but I've had similar dreams, 3 or 4 dreams, and I know with detailed explanations. It pretty much means the same thing, or it hints at the same thing. Again, you think you've seen worthless. You have seen worthless until you've seen how worthless people, so-called people from the third world, can be. Anyways, ciao.